All right, so HubSpot recently launched their OpenAI app. It's currently in public beta. We've been a part of the beta for a while, but I never really had a strong use case, and so I hadn't played around with it much. And then at the end of last week, our head of sales messaged me and had a really cool use case for it, so I got into it. It's actually a lot easier to set up and use than I expected, and so I'm going to show you how it works. Okay, now in order to get set up in the beta, you are just going to go in your HubSpot account and click on Product Updates, and it's going to bring you to this page. So we're already enrolled, but I will show you how to find it. Just type in OpenAI, and then you'll see this new OpenAI app for HubSpot. The one thing to preface here is that this is only available for people on an enterprise tier in HubSpot. So you can see here, marketing enterprise, ops enterprise, sales enterprise, or service enterprise. So you do have to be on an enterprise tier in order to play around with this. But if you are on an enterprise tier, I highly recommend at least testing a workflow. I'm going to show you the one that I set up, and hopefully you can use that as inspiration for something you can test out. Okay, so this is the workflow that I set up using the Ask OpenAI workflow action inside HubSpot. So what our head of sales wanted is to auto-generate the buyer's next step so that we can use that when looking at pipeline reviews for our sales deals. So what this is going to do is we're going to reference the notes and emails on the HubSpot deal, and then ask OpenAI to analyze that and generate an output. And then we're going to sync that output into a property on the deal record. So my trigger enrollment for this is when the last activity date is less than 1 day ago. And then I've specified the deal stages that I want this to run in. So basically any of our open deals should qualify for this trigger. Now, inside the Ask OpenAI prompt, I actually tested a bunch of different prompts. I actually used my own ChatGPT account to set up the prompt here and kind of analyze it based on what it gave me the first time, what I actually wanted the output to look like. So this is what we ended up doing. So it's saying, read the attached sales activity, summarize the buyer's current step in the deal in under 10 words using a clear sentence fragment. Here's some examples of what to say. And then the big thing here is that I am referencing, or I'm asking OpenAI to reference the most recent note and the most recent email on this deal. And the way that I set that up is when I was setting up this prompt, I clicked on edit available data, and then I added records here. So you can name this whatever you want, and then you can basically look at any record that is associated to that deal and choose this. And then, like, for example, if I look at task, I can say if the task is associated to the enrolled deal, and then I can say the most recently updated task, for example, or first created task, whatever you want that to be. So that's how I set up the additional records that I'm referencing in this prompt. So here I've got the most recent email and the most recent note. Those are the two that I'm using in this prompt. So it's when it says read the attached sales activity, the note body and email body are the two pieces that I'm referencing here. The other thing is where you can set up advanced settings. So in this example, you can look at a bunch of different AI models. So we're looking at ChatGPT 4.0. Reasoning effort is low because this is a really simple prompt with a simple output. And then temperature is gauging like how creative you want the output to be. And since this is really straightforward and we just want a short response, I made the temperature 0, which will result in more predictable responses. And I've tested this out and it works pretty well at this level. Okay, so then we had that prompt set up. And so the next step, this can be whatever you want. So you could have it send a Slack message. You could have it set a note in the HubSpot deal. But in this instance, I want it to update a property. So I'm selecting the property. In this case, it's buyer next step. And then basically I'm choosing the value. So the response from this output is what's going to be added to the value here. And that's it. I tested it. We are really happy with the output of this. We might tweak the prompt a little bit over time, but generally this is giving us exactly what we're looking for and is really going to help us with pipeline reviews. And I think the biggest thing here is it just shows what's possible using this OpenAI workflow action. I think this opens up a ton of opportunity inside HubSpot to automate lots of different things based on what's happening inside the record. This is just the first one I've set up, but I'm really excited to start exploring more, and let us know what you end up creating.